All right, more on the CEO revolt against pay caps, and particularly Mr. Robert Benmarché. Will he become the savior of capitalism with his leadership? Here now we have John Carney, managing editor, BusinessInsider.com, which runs the fabulous website, Clusterstock.com, and the fabulous Jerry Bowyer, syndicated columnist and CNBC contributor. John Carney, I am shocked, stunned. You, the defender of free market capitalism, are now defending pay caps, Treasury bureaucrats, White House czars. John Carney, how is this possible?
It's all true, Larry, and I know it must seem shocking. But here's the story. Real free marketeers don't want a company to survive when it has failed as badly as AIG. Keep in mind, AIG would not exist today if we hadn't made a public policy decision that its immediate failure back in September of last year would be a catastrophe for the financial system. The only reason it exists now is because we wanted to have it unwind and go away in an orderly manner. That's what we should be doing, not trying to bring it back to its past glories.
Jerry Bowyer, look, yeah. I like growth. I'd like him to succeed. I'd like the taxpayers to be paid back, Jerry. And I kind of like this Benmarché guy. But what's your take? You heard John Carney.
I love this guy. I love this Benmarché guy. I mean, finally, AIG has a CEO who doesn't throw his own employees under the bus in order to make Barney Frank happy. I think this guy's great, and I would actually like to make some money on this. As an involuntary shareholder in AIG, I would actually like smart people to run this company. I would actually like them to increase the value of the company so we can get some of our money back. But if the government doesn't want that, then what they ought to do is, like any other shareholder, instead of buying preferred stock, which is non-voting, they ought to buy common stock, put some members on the board of trustees, and then set the pay for the CEO. Instead, they're doing it through some czar, which is completely unconstitutional, who's basically bullying the CEO about not just his pay, but the pay of 2 or 3 levels of management deeper. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, John Carney, the prior CEO, Ed Liddy, went along with everything the Treasury told him and everything the pays are, and he didn't work out. Now you got a real mensch, Robert Benmarché. He's a real capitalist. He's telling people he's going into action to save the company and save capitalism, to show people how this thing really works. How can you deny that, John Carney? How can you defend these Treasury bureaucrats and these czars?
He's a phony capitalist because he's not running a capitalist company. He's running a socialized company that is propped up on government aid. That's not capitalism, Larry. And paying him with money from the taxpayers, because that's ultimately where it comes from, doesn't make any sense.
But how is it more capitalist? I agree, there's a government intervention here. I don't think there should be. But how is it more capitalist to take our money and then completely socialize the management, including the, not just socialize some of the ownership, but the management of it? If you don't want socialism, then why give the government more control and more power to destroy this company?
In this case, we want the market process to work. What the market process said was AIG should no longer exist. And the closer we can come to that, to making that market outcome come true, the better off we are.
Just get government out of it. Just sell those preferred shares for whatever is the market value then. But to purposely destroy the company is ludicrous.
Here's the thing. We actually, that is the policy. We were going to wind down AIG. When we put the money in back in September, that was the promise. This wasn't TARP. It wasn't money going into healthy companies. It was money going into a dead company in order to stop knock-on effects of its failure. It wasn't ever meant to support AIG.
I don't agree with assisted suicide in medicine or in capitalism. Just let the government sell its share. If you want the government out, so do I. And then if AIG can live, let it live. And if it can't, then don't.
I think we're in agreement on that. I think we should sell out immediately, let AIG go on its own way.
Look, it's a tar baby. I mean, they should have gone into bankruptcy, but it is what it is right now. But I just think what Benmarché is saying is, let us succeed and reward us for our efforts. I can pull this out. This is the assignment you give me. He's really rebelling, gentlemen, against the whole bureaucratic governmental control model that's been set up in Washington. I mean, that's where this whole story has come. I'll give you one last word, Jerry Bowyer, and then John.
Yes, he's a capitalist folk hero. He's sticking his finally a corporate guy who's willing to stick his thumb in the eye of the pay czar. I wish cluster stock would fight for capitalism as much as this guy would.
Stick his thumb in the eye of the pay czar, John Carney. Take that.
I think he's sticking a thumb in all of our eyes, actually.
Okay.
Let the market work and let this company fail if that's what needs to happen.
No, if we fail, we're going to lose a lot more money. John Carney, thank you very much. Jerry Bowyer, thank you very much. Coming up, who is the world's most powerful person? Forbes magazine has just released its first ever list in the last hour, no less. Forbes managing editor Bruce Upman will tell you who topped it when we come back. I'll give you a hint. What do we got? A central planner, 2 commies, and a horse holder. You're watching the Kudlow Report. Who's the horse holder?